So hello and welcome to the Super Bored Nerd Show.
Super.
boy.
Oh
We,
my
We have
God.
capes.
How
We have
long has it
capes
been?
now.
We're back.
we're back.
We
It's been a
are
while.
back.
I am Levi, going to be the host for this episode. Joining me today, we have Lee,
Yo.
Bye.
Casey,
Hi.
Bye.
and Joey.
Bye.
Good.
Joey, bye.
Glad that's settled.
So apparently that bit is carrying over. Today's topic that we're going to talk about is going to be what should the lineup be for the X-Men in the MCU? Getting ahead of the curve a little bit before all the Phase 4 stuff really takes off. So far, WandaVision's come out, and the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
And
And raving
good.
reviews.
yeah,
Yep.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the most watched show right now to premiere on Disney Plus.
Good.
Which
nice.
is I wasn't expecting, because those are two like smaller characters as far as that sort of dynamic goes.
Yeah, if you asked me how popular those would have been a couple of years ago, I'd be like, man, those are dead shows.
Yeah,
No one cares.
No one cares, exactly.
I think it's because we just haven't had like good Avenger type action in so long, and then WandaVision didn't really feel that niche.
It was a very different,
yeah, very different off, and so now that Falcon and the Winter Soldier's coming back, it kind of feels more like an Avenger type
yeah, and
show with the action and stuff like that.
yeah, exactly.
Well, we're here for the X-Men.
We're here for the X-Men.
We are.
We will get the X-Men will happen. I mean, Kevin Feige has said as much, that mutants were coming. He didn't say X-Men, I want to point out. He did say mutants when he was talking about them.
But I mean,
yeah.
Well, I went ahead and I sent our group screenshots of the X-Men as they were recruited to kind of give us a baseline to go off of. We don't have to follow it, but I definitely think the best place to start would be the original members,
Yes.
and at least kind of look at that list and see who we think would be included from there. And I mean, we can kind of just jump around after that, but
Yeah.
that original list is some powerhouses.
It's killers. It's killers. And honestly, I have like my list in front of me. At 4 of my list are on that for a starting
So I'm going to
cast.
quickly guess who was it.
Yes.
I'm going to guess that you probably didn't have Angel.
Angel was the first one I put on the list.
I'm embarrassed.
Levi like Angel.
He
I
does,
don't.
Yeah.
I feel like here's the thing. I feel like Angel got done dirty by the movies.
Well, I
He
do
did.
know. Yeah, that's very true. Very, very
He
true.
did.
I do know you don't like Cyclops, so you probably left him off.
Cyclops is
Man.
on the list.
Oh my God.
He
I'm gonna
gotta
keep-
be on the
We
I'm gonna
need a
keep
leader.
guessing who
This
is
team
on
needs
the
a
list.
leader.
Professor X, no doubt.
Professor
I mean,
X is on the list. Yes.
Yeah, and then the last one, what do you guys think? Lee,
I'm
Joey,
thinking Iceman.
Iceman? Oh,
Levi
I want-
like Iceman.
I want Beast.
Levi actually like Iceman.
I know he likes
Absolutely,
Iceman.
Iceman. So
so you don't?
my initial roster is a few characters bigger, because I feel like it's important to pull older characters or newer characters onto this starting roster, because the '90s X-Men was such a big deal.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yeah.
So I'll just run through this here real quick. Professor X, Angel, Colossus, and they bring
Yes.
the one
Oh.
from Deadpool,
Good point. Yeah.
Yes.
because we already have an established rapport with that Colossus. Iceman, Cyclops, because the team needs a leader. Storm, because we get to do a Wakanda crossover there.
Yes.
Jean Grey, because you gotta.
Why- yeah.
And
She's
then-
like
Yeah.
Professor X. You gotta have her.
And then with Colossus, I feel like it would be important to have Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde.
Sure. That's because if they're gonna bring over the Colossus version, I would imagine they would bring her too.
Yeah.
I mean, you've already got the actors. You've already got the character personality. Just move it over. So, are there any that you've seen, Levi, on my list that you think would be on there that you may have missed? Are there some that you definitely do not think are going to be on there?
I kind of went through the same list that you did, going through that because I went just onto the wiki kind of thing. Funny enough, on my bad guys list, I put Havoc because I felt like
Yeah.
that would be a good like fight between brothers
Yeah.
to do, and Havoc and Cyclops don't get a lot of time together in general, so that would be you could do a quick off of Havoc kind of thing if you wanted to.
Have they ever featured Havoc in any of the movies?
Havoc was in
Days
First
of
Class.
First Class. That's not. Yeah.
Is that it?
He died in
He had
First
the
Class.
Stomach thing.
I remember him being in one, but I couldn't remember which. Because there's
Yeah.
like 8. So hold on, I got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Are we leaving Beast out of this? Is Beast is he dead on arrival?
I think
These can come later.
here was my thought process, and I had the same thing for the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. How many big characters are you going to have on one team?
All of them.
Because like going through my, I put Juggernaut on the bad guy team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta.
And then I wrote down the next 2, which were Sabretooth and Omega Red. And
Okay.
Oh.
and I'm like, that's a lot of just real big dudes hanging out.
Yeah. They typically don't do a load of big villains.
You put
It's typically just
you put one tank on your team, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just Juggernaut, man.
You usually try to keep 1-1, like one good, one
Yeah.
bad, and have them face off against each other.
Exactly.
That's fair. That's fair. So,
But I do think Beast has a place, but I don't know if it's initially on the team. You could
Fair.
yeah, that's totally fair. Well, we got the original cast. I think we've touched the 1960s cast that, we talked about Havoc. I really don't think these other X-Men that I'm looking at are going to be on there. Mimic, Changeling, and Polaris.
No, I mean Polaris is at least interesting, but I mean Changeling is just kind of a Darwin Mystique sort of hybrid, and this is Mimic. Yeah, I don't like that team.
We're getting a little too far into this video without mentioning the most popular X-Men of all time.
He
gonna
can't be
in
there.
He can. I thought about this. This is one thing I thought about a lot.
So we're not going to do spoilers here, but we know, is that why?
I'm sorry, I missed something. What's up?
I'm talking about the most popular X-Men. He who does not need to be named. Wolverine.
Oh, okay, I was like, are we talking about what Chase said?
No. We'll get to him later, but
I don't think Wolverine joins the X-Men until like the second full X-Men movie.
I
And
want.
you know how you do it? Yeah,
What?
you don't have him remove the mask. You have him like introduced in that full suit of like the yellow and blue.
Yeah.
oh hell yeah.
Because people when they see it's like trying to replace Iron Man right now with Tony Stark
Yeah.
and all that. It's like that character is just implanted in people's brains so well that they don't want to see somebody else play it. So I feel like if you brought Wolverine in, he would need to be in the mask and the whole suit.
I like that idea because then you can sort of treat Wolverine like the last Dredd movie with Carl Urban, where he's just he is like in that movie he is Judge Dredd. He's not taking his helmet off. He's there to do his job, and that sort of is the same feeling I get from Wolverine.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've ever seen like movie version of him in that suit.
No.
The
We've seen this
Wolverine,
Easter egg.
the Wolverine had it originally had it as a post-credit scene, but it got cut.
Ugh.
It was the brown and yellow suit.
Yeah. I say you don't even do any of that. You say fuck Wolverine for now for a little while, and you
I
just
would
bring
take
in
both.
X-23.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
That's fair. I think we can all agree
With
though.
the suit.
Wolverine's probably a bad taste to add on
Yeah.
there, just because he would
They're too
obviously
iconic.
steal the spotlight.
And
Yeah.
that's for me why I put Cyclops and Angel on my list. I feel like those are two characters that you could have be the main character in that
Yep.
X-Men movie over Wolverine.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
You're dealing
So, before we go any further, are we saying are they going to introduce these X-Men in a MCU film, or is it going to be their film?
I think we'll get our first mutant in a regular MCU movie.
Okay.
I don't
Who's
think.
that going to be?
See, that's hard. Because it depends on how big a pop off they want to do, right?
You telling me it's not going to be Darwin, Armando
Okay.
Munoz?
Because honestly, it feels like it's either going to be Professor X or Magneto as the first mutant
Yeah.
you see.
Yeah, it's gonna be Professor X. Let's not even joke.
Yeah,
think-
I wouldn't be mad at all if it was
No,
X.
that it's
Like,
it's
I
safe.
want him to be first. So
Hmm.
are we gonna? You wanna give Chase his due?
That I mean, and listen, my favorite part of X2 is that intro scene with Nightcrawler.
So
That's
I
rad.
mean, is Nightcrawler gonna be in these films?
I don't think initially. I think we're going to end up with much how there's like been rumors for a long time that they're going to do a Avengers Dark kind of thing. We'll get a similar like that sort of movie with involving the X-Men doing like not as PG things.
That's fair.
And Nightcrawler would fit well on that
Yeah.
sort of team.
That
Stepping
roster of
back.
that movie. Yeah.
What kind of timeline are you thinking they're gonna do for the first movie, though? Like, is it gonna be like
That's what I was gonna get at earlier. I was like,
they're
do you
just
think they're gonna
gathering
treat-
people?
You think they're gonna trick Magneto like they did Thanos?
No.
Kind of like trying to like build him up, or do you think they'll try to do that with like somebody else, like Apocalypse?
Apocalypse would be the better choice, but
Yeah.
Magneto's just
Well, overall, here's the thing with the MCU, and this is going to be a little bit of that. I think the next Thanos level threat we're getting is Galactus.
Galactus would be a good one too.
We already know that they're working on Fantastic Four, and I think that at the end of one of this year's movies, we'll get a Silver Surfer approaching Earth to be the herald kind of thing and let them know that Galactus is coming.
Right. I'm saying, like, you think they do? Would they follow the past movies, like past Logan? They say they'd go Wolverine's dead in this iteration already, or something, or would they build it up from scratch?
I don't think they want to do Wolverine's dead. Yeah, I think I fully believe they scrap all of the Fox stuff because
Yeah.
like there's no real reason to stick with any of it other than nostalgia at this point. So like, to me, it seems pointless. And like I want Patrick Stewart to just walk on screen as Patrick Stewart and then walk off screen just to make people lose their minds for a minute. You know,
Good wheel on scene.
yeah, yeah.
What about Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
What about one of the best people in the X-Men movies, Quicksilver? Not technically an X-Men.
I mean, he and Scarlet Witch flip back and forth between the Brotherhood and the X-Men. We're talking about Quicksilver currently.
Oh, is he even on these lists that I sent?
Don't think so.
Wow, he must be a 2000s or newer or something.
No, he
when he joined,
yeah.
when he joined.
I feel like it's older than that because it's like I don't like the way that the comic book's drawn that he's in because he's in the green suit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, you've just reminded me how much I don't like that.
Yeah, that original Quicksilver costume is bad.
I just think he got done so dirty in that one movie where he just got shot to death.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
The canon one, isn't it?
Have you guys? Yeah, that's the MCU's Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Have
was
you
in,
guys
Age of
seen
Ultron.
WandaVision?
No.
I have.
Okay, I don't want
That's
to
what I
go.
was getting at.
I have some spoilers, but I haven't seen
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of it.
Okay, I won't spoil anything just because it's one of those things. It's new enough to not spoil. But
Sure.
I mean, listen, I do prefer the X-Men movies Quicksilver.
He's amazing. God tier.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Well, yeah. We'll see what they do with that.
Yeah.
So have we?
He's in a
Sorry.
weird spot.
No, you're good.
Have we touched on Gambit?
That's what I was gonna bring up. Now.
Not yet. Yeah, we're getting
man,
there.
culture.
Yeah, big-
Taste.
Isn't Channing Tatum still playing?
I don't think Gambit.
No.
I don't think Gambit's gonna be in.
Channing Tatum is out as Gambit in the standalone Gambit movie that they were doing, and then the Disney deal went through, so I don't even know if they're
Oh.
doing that anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Well, if
That's
they've
the last
already
thing
got
I read of
the,
him.
if they've already got the like the resources piled together for it, maybe they'll just pilot or like migrate that over.
Yeah, it's possible. We didn't talk about a couple from the '80s here
Yep, let's go
that
back.
that are kind of important, like Rogue.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na.
or when
She's
she
the-
ascends.
What is her powers? I apologize.
She
remember. She's the
absorbs other
copycat,
powers.
right?
Other
Yeah.
powers, yeah.
That's what it is.
She can kill people by doing it though.
Yeah, she's actually pretty OP.
And honestly, she's probably my main pick for the first mutant that we see
okay,
in
That's
Captain
fair.
Marvel 2, where
Oh.
she takes her powers.
Yeah.
is that
yeah.
like is that actual written in the comics or
That's
just?
it's real enough because it's in the '90s show.
Oh, okay.
That's how she got her powers in. Not the absorption powers; those are her mutant ability. But she has like the flight and the super strength and that sort of stuff that she
Yes,
gets
she-
from that.
She gets the easy way into
Yeah,
to
into the
superpowers.
superpowers that aren't just sucking up people's powers.
Sucking
Yeah,
up ice. Ice man.
And so I have her.
Kirby of
I have her on my Brotherhood list of bad guys, along with Mystique.
You are. Yep, you touched one of my wild cards. So yeah, so I was gonna say Rogue would introduce a nice dynamic for a film, for some interesting screenplay, and then obviously Mystique is like cream of the crop when it comes to visual effects,
Yeah,
just interesting character. You can do so much with Mystique, right? You can trick so many of the viewers, and I mean, at this point, I mean they've overdone Mystique, I think, but
yeah.
Still,
I don't
she's-
think she's
Yeah.
overly a main component of mutants going forward, but it would be a shame to not have her there.
Sure.
just such a unique power.
It should be like an end scene thing. Like they've been like talking to someone for the whole movie, like acting with them, and at the end you see them like turn into Mystique and
Well, I
like
mean, and
walk
that's-
away or
Oh,
something.
That's
Yeah.
the end of Spider-Man: Homecoming, right? It's Fury.
Yeah.
Fury was that was in the
Well-
movie was a Skrull the whole time.
Yeah.
Straight up, I don't know if I've seen that movie.
Oh,
Now I'm really
no.
upset with myself. Who was the villain in Homecoming?
Mysterio.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I haven't seen it. Oh no,
It's,
I
it's
gotta-
good. You should.
I'm sorry, Far From Home. That's the one I'm talking about. Far From Home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Homecoming was Vulture, right?
Homecoming is Vulture,
Yeah.
which we
Okay,
already
I
know they're
have
doing
seen
like a
that one.
Sinister Six thing with them.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Ooh.
sure.
To get Chase another shout out, he wants the arch enemy of the X-Men, Toad, to be there.
So on my Brotherhood list, Toad is the third one I wrote down.
Dude.
Because-
they got to make the joke.
Exactly. You put Storm in, and then you get Toad, and then you get to do the joke again and make fun of it.
If there's any like long shot that I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna put my like vote in that hat, it's gonna be for Toad.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys.
He
that
made
one.
it into both timelines of the X-Men movies.
He did. He sucked
us
real
Toad.
big in both of them too.
They bothered to put Toad in the reboot universe.
Give us Toad, man.
We got to put Toad in there.
So I'm gonna go ahead and throw out one of my other three. I had 3 wild cards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw out another one, and it's Cable.
Cable's a good
So-
choice.
Are they good?
I don't.
Weren't they doing stuff with Cable though already?
Cable's in
Yeah,
Deadpool,
Deadpool.
2.
Deadpool too. Yeah. So if they bring
If they bring
Colossus.
Colossus, and we already know they're bringing Ryan Reynolds Deadpool.
Deadpool, like yeah, so
I gotta
you
have
can
my
just
memory
expect all those
refreshed.
3.
It's
Oh,
just
I don't
Josh
think-
Brolin, yeah.
I don't
was
think Cable
Thanos.
should be a first film.
No.
Personally.
No,
No.
but he's such a like a cult favorite. He's such a cult favorite for X-Men that I think he
Oh,
could
yeah.
he could work his way in interestingly because he's more of that grisly character
Yeah.
where I don't know. I don't feel like there are a lot
He's-
of other mutants that fit that role.
I think also it would complicate things ridiculously. But Bishop,
Oh, dude.
I love putting he absorbs power and puts it back out. What a great you can put him against anyone who has
Wait,
any
what
sort of power.
happens? What happens if him and Rogue meet? Like, do
Uh,
they implode?
immovable object, unstoppable force scenario.
Yeah.
Man, what about when Gambit can just touch the planet and blow it all up?
all right.
Dude.
All right. Well, what
Sorry.
about World Breaker Hulk? I mean, we can everybody.
Hey, whoa, hold on.
Have you guys read about Marvel Comics Godzilla? Like, Marvel Comics Godzilla
Yeah.
is insane, dude. But we digress. I'm trying to look at these lists if there's anybody else I want to touch on before
I like
we just kind of
the idea of a background character in Dazzler. Just having her be
Dazzler,
a,
Jubilee.
just having Dazzler be an in-universe pop star that is a mutant and no one's noticed this entire time would be a good choice.
Like Courtney Gears. That's
Yeah.
a Ratchet and Clank reference.
Okay.
But hell yeah. That'd be cool. I would honestly, I would like stuff like that. Like little world building
Yeah.
references that have no plot.
There's
Have no
yeah.
no plot.
There's no
Oh,
circumstance to it. It's just, hey, this girl shoots fireworks out of her hands at the arcade. What's Jubilee
yeah.
doing over there? Like,
Stepping
Yeah.
on-
I got a good one for you. So they're looking at a popular TV show, and it turns out Psylocke originated from there
oh my
with
god.
Olivia Munn.
Oh, they're watching Attack of the Show.
Yeah. It's like she fucking busts out with mutant powers. That'd be pretty amazing.
I had one other thing that I thought of as we sat down here to start this, and that was Casey. Do you and Joey? Because I already talked with Lee about this. Do y'all remember Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends? The
To a
show.
certain degree, yeah.
If you look up, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
if you look it up, it'll be familiar. But I think Firestar is a good choice to bring in. So then you can sort of get that Firestar and Iceman dynamic. And I doubt that they would ever do anything to cross over with Spider-Man to any substantial amount. But it would be a nice little nod to the older stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm jumping in one last time with my wild card. All right.
Yeah.
And this is one I really hope you haven't covered it while I stepped away real quick. Legion.
We did not. That's a very good
I-
choice.
So I know you and I talked about the Legion series, right?
Yes.
And I kept up with it for quite a while. I believe I'm up to date. I don't know if they've released more, but I thoroughly enjoyed how they approached that series. I felt like though they kept teasing you. It was just a constant tease. It was obviously just a mind, like they were just screwing with you the whole
Yeah.
time. But I feel like Legion could be a final trump card almost, like the end, because isn't Legion one of the most powerful mutants?
Yeah, absolutely. That's his whole bit is that he just keeps acquiring powers.
So if they just hit, like if they got to the point where they were fighting someone very, 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 very strong, Legion's that trump card, I feel.
Yeah, you let him out.
If they wanted to pull off of that series they've already created. I don't know, Lee or Joe, if you guys have seen any of that series, but
No, I'm not.
It's on Hulu. It's a very you have to pay attention.
yes, it's just so crazy, but it's fun. I don't know why. I really enjoyed it, and it made me really like the character Legion, because if you look at the comics, Legion's not very interesting.
Yeah.
But at least to me, I'm sorry, as far as visually, I'm sure his backstory and all that stuff is great, but I don't know. I feel like Legion's another one of those wild cards I would be very happy to see. I'm not saying I want him on initial roster, but somewhere down the line.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
got 200 Omega level personalities in his head, apparently, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a problem.
I don't want to.
It's like introducing Superman
Yeah,
into
it
your
really
movie.
is.
It's like, All right, oh no, we can't beat the Thing. All right, let's just do it. Let's end the movie right here, and then Superman comes in and ends the last Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently
That's how
Legion's
they
like
did.
this. What, Joey? Sorry.
I feel like that's how Marvel did with the Avengers, with Captain Marvel, and why they left her last. Because if they brought her in first, it would kind of change the dynamic of everybody and be like, why don't I just bring
Yeah.
Captain Marvel in and fix, just have her whoop his ass kind of deal. But I feel like leaving her movie last and then having, Endgame and Infinity War and all that happen.
She didn't
It kinda-
do much though. Was the crazy part. They like built it all up and
True.
And she
they had
came,
the
just-
girl power. So
she
yeah,
came in
man.
and she flew through the ship, like fully
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, she turned the tide, until he brought,
Yeah.
they brought everybody back. But until then, she was,
Yeah.
kind of their savior because he was just gonna completely just run over everybody.
So at this,
I'm,
oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead, Levi. You do it.
Like at this point, the Black Widow movie still hasn't come out.
Oh,
Which it just got moved again to what was it, June?
June or July.
June or
Can't remember
July,
right
yeah. But the entire, like, from what it seems, that entire movie takes place within Russia. So I think there's a giant jail scene, it seems, and we could see Omega Red in there.
I don't know much about Omega Red as a character.
He's a Wolverine bad guy.
Dude, I don't know if I want to see this guy on screen. He looks crazy.
Well, it's like adding, like, because the last what was it, the New Mutants, which we never watched to complete our X-Men series. The New Mutants, the original after credits like stinger, was supposed to be Mr. Sinister as the next bad guy they were setting up in the Fox X-Men universe.
Okay.
And that's another one that I just don't know how it would have played on screen. But I was very interested to find out. And then that just never happened.
Dude, could you imagine though our first X-Men or like our first X-Men for this MCU is going to be Omega Red? Is that who it's going to be?
that seems like a bad one to do, but if you don't explicitly mention that he's a mutant, then I think it's okay.
Yeah, another one of those like
He's just a
casual
weirdo.
world building details in the background.
Yeah.
And I could care less. If you're introducing stuff like that, dude, the fans love it.
Yeah.
They absolutely eat that
Absolutely.
stuff up.
like
So-
Spider-Man when Vulture went to jail and they teased Scorpion.
Yeah.
Yes. Heck yes. Dude, hold on. Before we get too far away from the Legion point,
Yes.
I want to say that he is, like, I'm looking up, the most powerful mutants. He's considered the second most powerful mutant. So, maybe he is a little too high for us to do that. But the most powerful mutant, do you guys by chance know who that is?
It's probably something dumb, ain't it?
I mean,
His name is Franklin Richards.
is it Reed Richards' son?
It is.
Yeah.
And Susan Storm,
Yeah.
it is their child. And apparently, he is Zeno. He's just from Dragon Ball Super.
Oh.
He's just Zeno. So you can't really get stronger than that. So
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy they wrote that character at all. But sorry, I won't derail too much.
No, you're good.
But I think we've covered a lot of the really big ones.
I mean,
And-
there can be. I would imagine that we'll have background like weirdos just walking around.
Yeah.
But I mean, of like a substantial main cast, I feel like we've covered everyone likely that would be in it. I would
So
love
let's
to be surprised.
Let's go back and get the definites, like the ones that I don't know if you wrote them down as we were going, but I think you said your original list was Angel, Iceman, Cyclops, and Professor X, right?
Yes, I
And then-
have Jean Grey on there too.
And Jean Grey, yeah, my bad.
You're good.
And then I think you obviously mentioned Storm, having Storm, and I don't think we said Nightcrawler would be an original.
I don't think
but-
so. I think
Uh,
Nightcrawler and Angel occupy the same space on the roster.
And then maybe Havoc as another early one, maybe?
I
Or is he a late one?
I had Havoc on the bad guys team.
Rogue.
Okay.
Another one.
I also had Rogue on the bad guys team because she's
Yeah.
still she's still with Mystique at the time, kind of thing.
I think we've covered a pretty good
Absolutely.
landscape of these mutants. I mean, I'll say, who do I just want to see? Who do I think we'll definitely see first is just X or Magneto.
Yeah.
I think those are really good candidates, unless they do something crazy.
So I think the first is definitely either X or Cyclops. Those are going to be the first two one of the first two on screen.
Yeah, they're really the face. If you're not counting Wolverine, they're the face of the actual X-Men.
Yes.
So that's
And
good.
I'm not counting Deadpool solely because Deadpool's gonna show up everywhere now.
Yeah.
He's going to become the Stan Lee cameo, and
Ryan Reynolds will get rich.
Dude,
Richard,
and I
Alright.
love Deadpool as much as the next guy. I think they kind of beat him into the ground some odd years back, but I don't think it'll hurt to throw Deadpool back into a bunch of stuff. He's really fun.
especially like I really enjoy Ryan Reynolds' take on the character.
Yes. And
It's
please give us Deadpool meets Spider-Man. They have
Yeah.
to. Please, because when they meet in the comics, it's so great. I really want to see it in the MCU.
and like we never got the Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Strange no shit Sherlock joke because they
God
both played
damn it.
Sherlock Holmes. But
That's pretty good.
we gotta get it's Spider-Man and it's Deadpool.
I want the Deadpool from the first batch of movies in there.
Don't do this to us.
Katana's coming out of his hand.
Don't do this to us, man.
Oh,
If
What a
you're getting
character.
that Deadpool, then I want some that the cartoon X-Men, the
Man Spider.
Yeah, give us
Oh,
Man
man.
Spider.
Spider-Man's a whole nother topic that I think we can get into on a later date.
Oh,
For sure.
Any closing remarks, guys? Anything else that you'd like to bring up here?
I'm gonna close with give us Toad. That's all I'm gonna close
Toad.
with.
I think Toad is the number one across the board for X-Men characters that we want.
That's it for me.
Yeah.
yeah. I
Anybody
want
else?
Gambit.
Yeah, that's
I just
very
want to
fair.
see. I don't want to see some shithead flinging cards.
Joey?
I think we've pretty much covered it. I don't think there's anybody like specifically I'd want to see just yet. I think that's what a good take on X-Men would just keep it few and just focus on them. Unlike how the Fox ones did. The Fox ones just came out with like the whole roster in your face kind of deal, which
Yeah.
wasn't bad, but I feel like the way that I know that they're gonna want to do X-Men, they're gonna want to build it into like a huge kind of Avengers type deal.
Yeah.
They'll have to take it a lot more slower. So
Yeah, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. When you have a small cast where everybody works so well together, you can really drive things forward and get a lot of good jokes. Everybody gets their spotlight. But with the X-Men, if you muddle the pot too much, it's harder. It's much harder.
It gets too
Yeah.
crowded, yeah.
I agree. That's actually an excellent point.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining me tonight.
No problem.
You
Thanks
can
for having us.
you can
It's been a
find
while.
this podcast over on the Board Nerds YouTube channel. Depending on how I edit this, it will probably end up on our Spotify feed. And we'll start doing this sort of thing more regularly as we get time to do so.
definitely.
You can follow the streams over on Skeleton Crew Gaming on Twitch and Big Brown Couch Gaming on YouTube and Facebook. That will do it for us today. Thank you guys very much for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.